Hello everyone, it's Nick Lawson with CDC Take Charge Software, and this is lesson 3 in how to build a random number generator for the Powerball game that people are so excited about. Okay, to start off with, if you remember from last session, I said we would be looking at the trend analyzer in this session. So let's go to that form and see how it looks. Okay, on first blush, we have a pretty simple form. You have a browse window of all of the historical data going from the 1st of November 1997, which is the inception of the Powerball game, all the way down to the 1st of December 2012. Below it, you have a Analyzer Results window. This is a text box which, as we query our results, it will display information in here telling you what the information means. So for example, right now when we open the form up, it's displaying all the history. So it says total drawings 1,575, total matches, because we're not querying down on it, 1,575, match percentage 100. Over here is a text box basically telling you what to do, and then you have two text fields that you can enter values in, and then buttons. I do not have all of this done, but we'll start with these two here. Let's say you want to check on the frequency of a single number. Well, then you take and use this field on the top and you enter that number. So 21, that's the age I could start drinking. So we check number, and there you go. It's a total of 1,575 drawings, as stated before. It came up 131 times on the various white ping pong balls, which is a total match of 8.32%. That's not bad. Certainly not great, but it's a pretty good number to probably play. It comes up pretty reasonably. So now we want to make that one of our numbers that we want to check to see if we can win any money off of. So we're going to put that in our number groups. Now this field is going to be, each value is going to be separated by a comma. So there's our first number. Now let's say we want to look at the number 28. Check that number. That has come up 142 times, or 9.02%. Another good number. So let's go ahead and add that to the list, 28. All right, let's jump up to the 40s because, oh, well, let's check and see with these two. Let's see how often they come up in combination. Okay, it's come up 15 times, or 0.95%. That's not too bad. If we add another number to it, let's see what happens then. So we've got 28, and let's go to 44 and see what that does for us. Check numbers, or check number group. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, check number. Another good number comes up 8.76% at a time, so let's add it down here, comma, 44, and check our number group. There you go, it's come up twice, 21, 28, and 44. There's 21, 28, 44, and 21, 28, and 44. So, maybe not a bad combination. It's come up 0.13% at a time, certainly not something that is a resounding victory, but you could look at it and say that, well, it came up in 1998, it came up again on the 20th, it may not come up again for another 14 years, so there's no reason to play that combination. So you would look for a combination that would not have as many matches. Sort of glass half empty or glass half full. Whatever camp you're in is the way you would want to play or analyze these numbers. Okay, let's look at how all this is done. First, when we open the form, because we are popping it up outside of the Alpha 5 application and above the desktop where it floats, we have to use the form load function. Form load, Powerball Analyzer, pop-up, center, middle, activate, Powerball Analyzer show. That's our main menu. Now remember, when you pop up a form, exiting the form does not close it, it only hides it. So you need to call another form close to drop it out of memory. Don't forget that, it's important. When our analyzer form opens, we set our list to display all historical data we have in the table. So to do that, we do top parent show all. Our form is actually designed and bound to our historical data table. So top parent works fine in this case. There's no reason to do anything else. Once we have all the records shown, we want to find out what that number of records is. So record found equals top parent query run. We want the filter to show all records, so period T period does that. And we display it by lotto date, which puts it in oldest to newest in descending order, or ascending order, sorry. Then we have a variable which is attached to the form called n total draws, which we set to equal records found. We refresh our browse so that they're all displayed, and then we fill in the values in our text box. So total drawings equals n total draws, which is the total records. Do a control line feed to start a new line. Total matches in queue is records found, so that's based on our query. And then the percentage is records found divided by total draws times 100 plus a percent sign. So that makes it look nice and neat and pretty. Now, when we enter a value in our number slot and check the number, then what we're doing is we're committing the record because we're entering a value and we want to make sure the form is committed. We take and dim the records found, that's n, and again we do a query run, and here we are setting the actual ball, so like ball 1 would equal the variable which is our text box converted to a value, or button 2 equals that text box, or button 3, button 4, not button, I'm sorry, ball 4, ball 5, and then we invert our date and display the results. We refresh the browse and we set our text box to then say total drawings equals n total draws, matches in queue is records found, so it's going to show just the records found on our query string, and then the percentage. Here we're taking the number records found divided by total draws and we're converting it to a string and then using the number formatting so that it presents it in a nice, clean, attractive way, rather than rounding it and adding the percent manually. When we do the button groups, we have to do something slightly different. Notice up here we are setting the actual value to the variable value, or the actual value 2 to the variable value, actual value 3 to the variable value, and so forth and so on. Down here we are setting the variable, and we create 5 variables by taking our string, which is comma separated, and we break it into words, convert those words into numbers. So word number 1 is the first number we entered in the string. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Then we take the string and we convert it to a list by using comma to control line feed. Then we count the number of lines in a list. This tells us how many balls we entered in the string. And we can use that value to then tell the query how many conditions it needs to run. Now here we set the variable to equal ball 1 or ball 2 or ball 3 or ball 4 or ball 5, and we set the second variable n2 to equal ball 1 or ball 2 or ball 3 or ball 4 or ball 5. The reason we do that is we want to find all occurrences of the 2 numbers entered, no matter what ball it falls on. If you do it the other way, it would search and find all occurrences on ball 1 and build a list. Then it would find all occurrences on ball 2 and build an additional list, and ball 3 and ball 4 and ball 5, which means your list would not be correct. because it would show all occurrences of all numbers rather than the grouping of the numbers and each time they showed up. So that's an important distinction. So the OR goes inside the bracket and the AND separates each of the variables. So here, if the list is 2, we do 2 variables. 3, we do 3 variables. 4 is 4 and 5 is 5. Pretty straightforward. Finally, we refresh the browse and then we set our text. The only difference here is we're now adding another line, which is numbers in group, and that's equal to string x count with no conditions, which just makes it 2 places with no decimals. Control line feed, and then matches in queue is records found, and percentage is again string records found divided by n total draws times 100, set to 10 digits with 2 decimals and a percentage when it displays correctly in our text box. That's it. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's take and try to find, just to make sure that it works, we will enter all the matches on December the 10th, 1997. So that is 18, comma, 21, comma, 28, comma, and I can actually mix them up. For the last two, we'll do them backwards, 4, comma, 41. There you go, 18, 21, 28, 4, 41. We check our group. There it is, only came up once, and that was back on December the 10th, 1997. That's it, folks. Keep in mind that when you're designing a database for a business, the major thing they're going to want is analytical data on the information they're tracking, whether it be parts, widgets, accounting, employee records. It doesn't matter. Data analysis is key to a healthy application for a small business. This is a great way to get started. Thanks a lot and have a great day.